Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. Just some random video idea that popped into my head, and I thought, you know what, this might be quite interesting. So I don't know if this has been done before, and probably has, because let's be honest, pretty much everything's been done on YouTube at some point. So yeah, but yeah, I'm going to talk about 10 games that I really enjoyed, but I've only beaten once. So yeah, 'cause, for me it's kind of like a rare thing, because usually, if I like a game so much, I'll play through it, multiple times, like over the years. But yeah, these games kind of just slipped through the net, I guess, and I didn't play through them again. I just played through them once. This isn't more a thing I used to do when I was a bit younger, like play through games multiple times. But over like the last couple of years, I've tried to like stop replaying games as much and try and like find new experiences. Because obviously, I've still got a lot of games in my collection that I've hardly touched. So I do try and give them a shot rather than playing through games. Because it's so easy to stick on like a Resident Evil game or that and just replay through them and just get lost in those games because I love those games so much. But yeah, I do try and find like new experiences when I can. But obviously, I do still play. I still replay games, but just not quite as much. So yeah, guys, yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Anyone feel free to make a response or like leave it in the comments below what games you really enjoyed but you've only played through like once. Definitely interested to hear your guys' opinions, whether it be in the comments below or a video response or anything like that. Definitely interested to hear your guys' thoughts. It doesn't even have to be a top 10. It can be a top 5, a top 8. It can just be a few games. Yeah, let me know. So yeah, I've got a mixture of the PlayStation consoles. I'm trying to like pick games as well, but it's been at least 4 years, I want to say. Because I could easily say, like, I don't know, Final Fantasy VII Remake, love that game of death, but I beat that like a year ago. Games like that, like Dragon Quest 11, stuff like that, I beat them, I really enjoyed them, but again, it's only been like a year. And chances of replaying a game like after a year is kind of slim. Unless it's Resident Evil or Sonic or something. But anyway, guys, yeah, we'll do this in any order, or just, yeah, we'll do it in any order, I guess. Or I'll tell you what, we'll start with PS1 and we'll work our way up. We'll do that. So I've only got one PS1 game here because PS1 games that I really enjoyed, I've played through multiple times because obviously I grew up with the PS1 and I used to just replay through games like all the time. But one I haven't replayed again, Driver 2, Back on the Streets. Yeah, yes, absolute classic game. And I never actually beat this when I was younger. It wasn't until I was, a bit older I managed to have the patience to play for this game because I always got stuck at Las Vegas, like the third city in the game, which is, like over halfway through the game basically. Because you have what, Chicago, and then Havana, then Las Vegas, and then Rio is your final one. So yeah, I always remember getting to Las Vegas, but I could never beat Las Vegas. I think it was quite near the end of Las Vegas as well. But yeah, I did this. I played for this about what 7 years ago, maybe, and I actually ended up beating the game. Very good game. Obviously, like a driving game. You just have to drive from point A to point B most times. Sometimes you have to survive bombing an absolute barrage of cars coming at you. Sometimes you have to get there in a certain amount of time. Sometimes you have to take out certain cars along your way. Stuff like that. Just like little like missions along the way. And yeah, very hard game. Like later in the game, especially like when you get to Las Vegas and then Rio, those when like the difficulty like really like ramps up. Chicago and Havana are not like too terrible. They've got their share of like some annoying missions, but overall not too bad until Las Vegas and Rio. But yeah, just a really fun game, just absolute carnage, like just a hell of a lot of fun. Great soundtrack, gameplay is still a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah, love this game, absolutely amazing. Like I say, well, probably one I will have to like replay at some point, but again, it's just quite frustrating towards the end. But it's a great game. It's an absolute classic. Love it. Probably my favorite driver game. Either that or San Francisco on PS3. Both great games. So that was that one. I got on to the PS2. I do love me some racing games, and yeah, I love this series. Probably one of my favorite like racing game series. One of my favorite racing game series, and it is Need for Speed Most Wanted. Yeah, probably one of the only like Need for Speed games I've only beaten once. So like I say, I love Need for Speed. Undercover, Carbon, um, Yeah, I've beat them like multiple times. There's another one. What's the other one? Thinking another one. The Run. Beat that twice as well. So yeah, I do play through these games multiple times, but this one I've only beaten once, and I must have played through this one about probably like 6 or 7 years ago. It's been quite a long time. Um, it's obviously received by a lot of people as like one of the best like Need for Speed games, and I do agree. I think Carbon's still my favourite, but I do still think this is like a very, very good game. And probably why I'm surprised it hasn't got like a HD remaster for like modern systems, because it would definitely benefit from that. Because like I say, it's still got a big fan base. I love basically on like a blacklist, and you have to like work your way up the blacklist. And obviously, as the game goes on, it gets harder and harder because like some of these goals you have to achieve are just absolutely insane. Trying to escape the cops in this game is just crazy. Cops in this game are brutal. Probably like the hardest like cops in any like Need for Speed game I've played. I think they're just absolute savage in this game. But yeah, just really like it. The characters you meet along the way are interesting. Stories what's somewhat interesting, and obviously the gameplay is just a hell of a lot of fun. So yeah, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Probably one of the harder Need for Speed games I would say as well. Pretty damn brutal. So yeah, I've got all three. Well, I've got the three like main games in this series. I know there's a few spin-offs that I don't have, but I've only beat all like the three games once. But I've decided to go with this one because this was the first one I've played. So this is like the longest time that I've not played it, I guess. Yeah. Onimusha Warlords, which in my opinion, great start to a new like franchise by Capcom. And yeah, one that's kind of just disappeared, which is a shame because Onimusha's great. Like I love Onimusha 1, 2, and 3. They're all great games. But yeah, this was the first one I played through. And yeah, remember really, really enjoying it. I like the environments, I like the characters, I like the gameplay. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Final boss was just epic, really, really good. Probably the shortest one as well in the series, from what I can remember. I don't think this one was like too long compared to the other two. But yeah, I love Samanusuke. He's a great like main character. Probably my second favourite Onimusha character. I do prefer Jacques from Onimusha 3, but still love Samanusuke. Absolute amazing character. Very like old guy. But yeah, just a great game. This has got a HD remaster for PS4. Kind of surprised the other two games haven't, but who knows? Maybe Capcom will finally acknowledge Onimusha again. But yeah, it's a great game. We'll say I don't know how long ago it was I beat this. It must be about 8 years. I would say about 8. And yeah, absolutely love it. Great game. Need more Onimusha. I mean, obviously I'm a big Devil May Cry fan, a big Resident Evil fan, but I do think Onimusha deserves some more attention. And this is another great game, of course. Black. These are all great games. I don't need to say this is a great game. They're all great games, in my opinion. Yeah, like for me, this is one of the most impressive like first-person shooters. Like for the console it's on, Also, like Killzone 2 looked absolutely amazing on PS3, but you kind of expect that in a way because it's obviously like a more modern time. But yeah, for the PS2 era, like a game looking this good, it was just well. I mean, you can probably tell by the screenshots, it is a beautiful looking game. I've obviously not played this recently, so maybe it doesn't look as good as I remember it. But I remember this just looking absolutely amazing. How you could like shoot holes in like walls and things. I know Red Faction could do that. I think Red Faction was a pretty impressive game. I didn't really like that game too much though, to be honest. I found that one quite frustrating, but yeah, for me this one looked even better, and it was actually more fun to play. Pretty damn hard as well. Like later in the game, like this game gets really blooming challenging. You die really quickly. Checkpoints are quite few and far between. But yeah, I always remember Black just looking great, playing great, just being very, very impressive for its time. But I've not played through it again, so 10 out of 10. Like I wouldn't say that. Probably like a 7 or something. But I still really love Black. It's great. Again, I would like to replay it to see how it holds up. Next one we'll go for. Yeah, it's actually the last PS2 game. The Warriors. Yes, an actual good like movie tie-in game. I know there was quite a few on PS2 that were actually quite good. Like From Russia with Love was a good like movie tie-in game. Peter Jackson's King Kong was actually a pretty good game in my opinion as well. you know, for a movie game. I've actually had this on my shelf. Look, you don't even can see that. Look, dust, caked in dust. I usually have it up above my wardrobe there, my little PS2 display. Yeah, so a mess of dust. But yeah, actually a really, really good game, this one. Again, I've only beaten it once, probably like once and a half, because I used to just go back and just like play random missions to try and unlock stuff. Because yeah, you basically unlock like more characters so you can use it in like the free game kind of thing, where you can like create your own like game mode kind of like your own like fights and things. You can create your own teams and battle them out against each other in this like sandbox mode or whatever the hell it was. But yeah, I remember really, really liking this game. It was just a hell of a lot of fun, you know, playing as the warriors, playing as, you know, all the different characters and things. Fighting against all the different gangs. It's kind of like an action, like beat 'em up kind of game. Um, to be honest, at the time I kind of thought it was kind of like a I don't know, like a 3D like Streets of Rage or something, which I guess it is, but you know, it's a beat 'em up, so it's kind of got that like feel to it. But yeah, it was just a very, very good game. Like it stayed true to like the movie, you know, with like scenes and characters and things. There's some characters that weren't in the movie, like there's like a weird like clown gang, which weren't in the movie. The hi hats or something. They were quite entertaining, to be honest. Yeah, just really, really like it. Great gameplay, like smashing up like cars and things, smashing up like shop windows and things, and stealing jewelry and stuff. I remember that. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Just a great game. Again, just one I need to like replay to see how it holds up. Because honestly, it could be. I might actually prefer this to Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. Maybe not go that far, but I don't know. It's still a great game. It really, really is. So yeah, on to the PS3 now, and I know why I've not played for this game, and you might be able to tell me. Metal Gear Solid 4. Was it Guns of the Patriots? In this like slip sleeve thing. It's a little bit battered, but yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit battered, this sleeve, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4. Why haven't I played through this? Maybe because it feels like a bloody 12-hour movie or something. Yeah, this game, like, I do really like the Metal Gear Solid series. I do really like this game. When you actually play the game, there's a hell of a lot of cutscenes in this. This is just, for me, it was like way too extreme. This felt like the Metal Gear Solid game with like the most cutscenes, like by far. I mean, I know they've all got their fair share of cutscenes, but this one just felt over the top. Like, I don't know, like maybe it's an exaggeration, but I felt like sometimes I was playing the game for like an hour without any gameplay. Like maybe it was an exaggeration. I don't know. Maybe it was only like 40 minutes, but it felt like an hour. But yeah, this one for me, although I did really, really enjoy the game, it was a beautiful looking game. You know, good characters, good dialogue, very fun gameplay, great stealth. Was quite a good like vehicle section as well. I think when you're on a bike or something, I remember that being really, really cool. But yeah, just way too many cutscenes. But the gameplay, they have a lot of fun, and like I say, I do like the story. I just think it did overdo it, but I remember it still being a very, very good game. I don't know how long ago it was that I played through that. Again, must have been 8 or 9 years or something. But never went back to it because I want to play a game, not watch a movie. But it is really good. Don't get me wrong. And I tried to like stay away from like two from the same franchise, but I've went with this just because it's like so much different. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. So yeah, obviously still part of the Metal Gear series, but it's a spin-off game. And rather than being like a Metal Gear kind of game, it's a hack and slash game. It's not. I don't know if you can be stealthy. Maybe you can be stealthy. I can't really remember, but it's more just like an action hack and slash game with an absolute tremendous soundtrack, like electronic, like metal. Everyone knows Rules of Nature, like it goes with everything. It's just like so epic when you're like fighting that big mech at the beginning, and suddenly it's just Rules of Nature. So good, like really, really epic, and like the whole game is just full of like very, very good, very catchy electronic metal. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this game. Only beaten it once. I have no idea why, because I absolutely love hack and slash games. This one didn't have. It wasn't like too over the top with dialogue. I think it was only like a short game as well. It was only like a 6 hour long game. I don't think it was like a very long game. So yeah, really no reason why I've not replayed this. You know, I think it was amazing. Got quite difficult, especially something like the boss fights were really challenging. I remember having quite hard time with like the final boss as well. He was kicking my ass. Not gonna lie. But yeah, really good. Love Raiden. Raiden's a great character. I did like Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2. I thought he was a likable chap. But in this, he's a freaking badass. Like, absolute freaking love Raiden. Yeah, great game. Love the final boss, the final enemy as well. Like the main villain, he's a lot of fun. So last PS3 game is Splatterhouse. So yeah, the reboot of Splatterhouse. Again, only played for this one once as well. And I think this is probably another game. It's not really that long, probably another like 6 hour long game or something. But yeah, it's a hell of a lot of fun, like a beat 'em up game. It's got its like side scrolling sections, which I remember being quite good. Kind of like a throwback to like the like Splatterhouse 1 and 2. Yeah, very very good, very very gory. Great soundtrack. What, we've got Lamb of God or something. I can't just tell you what's all in it. I know Lamb of God's in it. Mastodon, Five Finger Death Punch. It's got a great soundtrack. A lot of really good like metal bands. Yeah, just absolute brutal. I love the dialogue as well. From what I can remember, like Rick and the Mask, I've got good dialogue. I think from what I can remember, it's actually quite entertaining. You're basically trying to get your girlfriend back, Jennifer, and you find like nude photos of her like along the way. You collect like topless photos, which is pretty interesting to be honest. I think there's like every level's got like three like pieces of a photo, and if you get all the photos, you can combine them together, and you get like a topless picture of Jennifer. Very very interesting stuff. I must say, definitely different. But yeah, I remember it being it's been a lot of fun. Like a very very good game, great visuals, good locations, good gameplay, and yeah, just overall just an enjoyable time. Like a very underrated game. I've got two PS4 games here, so there wasn't actually that many PS4 games because a lot of the PS4 games I've not had for too long anyway, so chances of replaying them were pretty slim. But I've decided to go with these ones, and the first one is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, I only beat this one once, believe it or not. Really like this like little collector's thing, slip sleeve and things. Really good. Was it the 20-year celebration? It's pretty fine to be honest. Does it come with like an art book and things? Like, yeah, look, very very cool. But yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider. So obviously the reboot, really enjoyed. Played for that one like 3 times I think. Did I or twice? No, I only beat that twice actually. Once on PS3, once on PS4. But yeah, I've got this one. Only played for this one once. Again, surprising because I absolutely love this game. I think I even like this one more than the previous game. I just think it's like full of just amazing environments. I think the environments are improved on the first game in my opinion. The characters aren't they're okay. Like I don't think like the main villain in this game is that great. Like when I always like compare this to like Uncharted. Or I feel like this probably has better gameplay than Uncharted, but Uncharted has way better characters. I don't know. I just think the characters are quite meh. And Lara Croft's likable enough, but I don't know. There's nothing too much to the characters, but I think the gameplay is a hell of a lot of fun. Like a mixture of action and like stealth. You can be stealthy if you want with your bow and arrow. I know there's a lot of like really good like snow levels, like climbing up like snowy mountains and things. It just looks absolutely stunning. So yeah, environments are great, gameplay's great, and yeah, kind of surprised I've only like beaten it once. Definitely something I need to replay. And the last one is again, this would probably be like only like 4 years ago, not that long ago, but still a long time not to have played for it. And this one again, probably 4 years as well. Doom. Yeah, the Doom reboot. Fight like hell. Yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Right enough, this game's just full of over the top action. So yeah, again, Doom, like absolute amazing reboot. I think they did a great job with this. I did like the like Doom Eternal as well, but for me that game was just way too frustrating. Like, it was way harder than this. I don't know why they made it so difficult for like normal difficulty. But yeah, this one did have its challenging parts, but overall it's probably a cakewalk compared to Eternal. Which, you know, when you put it on normal anyway. But yeah, great, very good environments. Again, over the top action, brutal gameplay. I love the like the finishers you can do on the demons, just like rip them in half and stuff, just absolutely wreck them. But yeah, very very good. I think they did a great job with the reboot. I'm sure they'll be making a third like, entry in like the reboot series. I'm sure they will at some point. But yeah, a great game. Great like variety of demons. A game that should get boring because you're just really fighting like a ton of demons. It's more just like going to an area, clear out that room of demons, going to another area, clear out that room of demons. Kind of that, but there's something extremely satisfying about the gameplay and the weapons and the different like finishers you can do on the enemies. So yeah, very very satisfying game. Just want to beat the hell out of a hell of a lot of demons. That's definitely a game for you. So yeah, guys, that is it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Yeah, let me know what games you really enjoyed, but you've only beaten once. Definitely interested to hear your guys' opinions. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video. See you guys. Thanks for watching.